Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah, and I am Haley's twin sister, as well as her maid of honor. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate the lovely couple's wedding. We know many of you have traveled so far to be here with us. From friends who have known us all of our lives to new work and school friends, we thank you. I know that I appreciate you being here tonight, and I'm sure that the couple does too. As Haley's younger sister and best friend, she's taught me a lot of important lessons in life that I would just want to share briefly with you all tonight. The first one is loyalty. When we were kids, Haley and I went to this small school, and it was recess, and we were playing in the sandbox, and one of the other small kids happened to take my toy. And of course, being a 5-year-old, I didn't really care, so I just moved on. But Haley was so adamant that this boy had hurt my feelings that she bothered him around the playground for the rest of recess, even though I had already moved on to a new toy. Another lesson that Haley has taught me is empathy. Back in middle school, we used to walk dogs, and it would get really cold in the winter, obviously. And so what happened was I had forgotten my sweater one day, and it was about 20 degrees outside, and I somehow convinced Haley that I was freezing, and she knew, obviously. And what happened was she grabbed her sweater, and we shared one sleeve. Felt bad enough for me to share a sleeve with me as we walked through the cold together, basically like holding hands in this one little tiny 7th grade sweater. Another lesson Haley taught me was basic life hacks. So for example, in driver's ed, I was really not confident with parallel parking, but Haley was super good at it, did just fine. And so I was like, can you give me some pro tips, like how to do and how to be good at parallel parking? And she was like, it's so easy. You don't actually need to park the car, like actually learn how to parallel park. Just cut your wheel when it hits a certain like paint spot on the brick wall. There's like a little painted X at the DMV parking lot. And then turn your windows to kind of adjust them to be towards the different angles to kind of hit the right spots. So basically she just taught me how to parallel park only in the DMV office. So that is how I learned how to parallel park, all thanks to my own sister, Haley. And then another lesson she taught me was how to not take things too seriously. So back in college, I convinced Haley to be my sous chef and to make soup with me. And so we're making this corn soup and we need the food processor. And Haley was like, this is gonna be perfect. Let's just pour all of the soup into the food processor. And we didn't realize there was a maximum line. And so soup just went everywhere. And we had to yell for our parents' help, and like soup was going all over the counters. It was going down the stove. It was a mess. And Haley looked at me and she said, you know what, one day we're gonna look back on this, we're gonna laugh at it. Like, it might be a fail now, but we're gonna laugh at it someday, which is obviously why I'm telling you this today. And I think the most important thing that Haley has taught me is when it comes to having a best friend and a companion to grow up with, your identical twin is perfect. According to Google, this is the part of the speech where I'm supposed to be giving some marriage advice, but seeming that I'm not qualified, we're just gonna skip that part. In conclusion, I can't imagine anyone better suited for Haley, and we're so excited to keep him and make him a part of our family officially. We love you all so much, so let's raise our glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs.